Let's see what I got. Oh boy, totally wanted this. What's going on, guys? So this is another episode of AGC Talks, and this episode is going to be more of a story rather than just talking about a random topic. And in the background of this video, you're going to be seeing some CSGO surf gameplay. You'll be able to see how bad I am at surfing, but I still enjoy doing it. So the reason why I'm putting this in is because I watch Leafy is Here. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and in a lot of his video he has CSGO surf in his background, and it's entertaining to watch. So I thought that I would just put it in, give it a try, because I like surfing. So I figured whenever I'm surfing, if I just simply record it, then it gives me something to put into the backgrounds of the videos that's pretty entertaining to people who care. So anyway, up to the story. So this is a kind of funny story about the guy who got kicked out of a concert that I went to. So let me give you some backstory on what was happening that night. So back in February of 2015, I went to see Flux Pavilion. If you don't know who Flux Pavilion is, he is a DJ and he makes music, and mainly like dubstep and stuff. He makes dubstep, trap, just all sorts of stuff. He's pretty good. So anyway, he was in the area, and my friend and I went to see him. Now, we have never been to like a big electronic concert like that, so we didn't really know what to expect. And this was nothing like a big music festival. It was all indoors, couple hundred people, and the DJ, Flux, and it was pretty cool. So anyway, like I said though, we've never been to one of these, so when we were going, we didn't really know what to expect. I was a little bit nervous as to like who the people or what the people were going to be like. Like, I didn't know if this was going to be like a drug-filled place or anything like that, because I personally am against drugs. I don't understand the point of smoking. I don't understand the point of like fucking heroin or cocaine. Like smoking like weed or something like that, I understand, but like shoving a needle in your arm and injecting stuff into it, or snorting a powder through your nose, I don't see how that's fun. So I wasn't willing to spend my night surrounded by that stuff. So I was a little bit nervous about that. When we got there, though, that's not the case at all. There is alcohol and smoking cigarettes, but other than that, there's nothing. So anyway, we get there, and we have to wait outside for probably about 45 minutes, I think it was. And keep in mind, this is mid-February, and I live on the East Coast, kind of north. I'm not going to say specifically where any of this is because, there's no point to, but it's pretty damn cold during the winter, especially at nighttime. This happened at like 10 o'clock. No, I think it started at 9 o'clock, but it was still late at night. And so we get there, and we have to wait outside for about 45 minutes. And I don't remember exactly what the temperature was, but I would say that it was somewhere between like 10 and 20 degrees. It was cold, and maybe even lower, to be honest. And so we get there, and we start meeting all the people who are there for the show and everything. And like, some of them looked like maybe they were druggies and stuff like that, but they were actually like pretty chill people, I'm not gonna lie. So I was a little bit nervous, like thinking maybe they were gonna be like assholes to everything, like a lot of people are. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but a lot of people like that would be. But they were actually really chill. And then they were crazy waiting out in that line too. Like, there was this one girl there, and the girl was wearing like short shorts, and she had I don't want to say a sports bra, but it was something like that. I don't really know the names, like the name of it, but it was short like a sports bra, but it wasn't like thin like just a physical bra itself. So she was wearing that. So her arms, her stomach, her legs, and everything were exposed in this like 15-degree weather, standing outside for 45 minutes. And so a lot of people were like offering to give her like their coats or like they were going to give her a sweatshirt or something like that to wear. But she was like, "Oh no, it's fine, everything." And people are asking her, like, "Is it cold?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm cold, but it's worth it because once you get inside, it's going to be pretty hot and everything," which was understandable because it's a closed area, a bunch of people moving around, music and everything, electronics. Obviously, it's going to be hot. So that was one thing that I can now expect because, like I said, I've never been to any of these things before. So we're waiting outside, and about a half hour later, they start letting people inside, which is pretty cool because it was fucking cold outside. And so we get in and give them our tickets and everything. We walk in, and I didn't really know what to expect the building to look like because I've never been there. But basically what happens is you can walk in on either side, and then when you walk in and then go towards the middle, there's a bar. Then to either side of the bar were kind of like lounge areas with seats, and that was what was quoted as the smoking area. Like if you wanted to smoke, you had to go there. Then in front of that was kind of a raised floor for people to hang out on, and then in front of that was like the main floor where everyone was. So waiting there for about 15 minutes, and then finally Flux Pavilion comes out. Everyone starts cheering, everyone starts screaming, being loud, and then the music starts playing. Now, it was loud, like really loud, and I've been to concerts before, but they've all been like outside concerts. But if you go to an indoor concert, especially if it's an electronic concert, because like I said, I've never been to an electronic concert. I've been to like concerts with normal bands like Rush, and I shouldn't say Rush because probably you guys don't know who that is, but just people like that, like rock bands. Outside, it's loud, but it's tolerable. Inside the walls of an electronic concert, it's loud, and it is really loud. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. So anyway, we're going and just jamming out. Everyone's dancing. Everyone's having a good time. And then, like, what I expected there was to be just like 2 hours of music and dancing. I didn't expect anything like crazy to go on. I don't know why, but I didn't. So then, but there was a lot of stuff happening, like the security guards, for example, were squirting water into the crowd and everything like that. And then Flux Pavilion had a McDonald's burger, and he randomly asked, like, just said into his mic, like, if anyone wanted a burger. Like, and he said it in kind of a joking manner. But then about 5 minutes later, the music's going on, he's dancing on the stage, and he just whips the burger into the crowd. It was on the other side of the floor as me, but it was still funny to watch. So then some more time passes, and Flux, like, says, could we get a mosh pit started? So in the front of the, like, right in front of the stage, a giant mosh pit happens, goes on for probably 5 to 10 minutes. It wasn't too long. So that went on, and then it kind of died down and stopped. When I take pauses like this, I'm taking a drink of water, by the way. So anyway, once the mosh pit stopped, this is where the story gets really funny. There was this one guy, and what this one guy did, you would really have had to been there to see it to fully understand. But I'm going to try and explain what happened as best as I could. Just the visual in my mind, though, like, you would have to be able to see it. So anyway, the mosh pit dies down, and there's this one guy who I guess didn't want it to stop because he just kept going so hard, and he was like the only person like with his own mosh pit, I guess you could say. So he was just kind of running around, like bumping into people and everything, and he was just going completely hard. So then eventually a bunch of people start like just pushing him, and not in like a mosh manner. They were just like trying to get him to stop. But he wasn't having any of that. So he just starts like going completely hard on these people, and he just starts like punching people. Like he whips his arms around in the air, he spins around in a circle, and he just goes around fucking like punching everyone. And then that goes on for probably like 10 or 15 seconds or something like that. He just punches everyone around him. And then there was this one guy who like tried to stop him. Like it wasn't a fight or anything like that. Like the guy just tried to stop him. And then eventually the security guards came in, grabbed the guy, threw him out the doors, and then everyone just went back to partying. But it was so like hilarious because like I'm not even joking when I say this. He just started punching everyone. Like it wasn't a fight or anything. He just was spinning around just punching people. And it was really funny. So the rest of the night goes on. It's more and more people. Flux actually left. He came back on later that night, but we already left because it switched over to some other DJs. So we left during those DJs. Flux did come back out, like I said, but we were already gone. But going back to how loud it was inside, when we walked out of the room, my friend and I, we were talking to each other, but we literally, like, we couldn't hear anything for probably a good 10 minutes. And then for probably the next few hours, like, the sound in our ears were still muffled. Like it was really difficult to hear. And now, I mean, obviously it's fine now hearing and stuff, but when, like, if you ever go to an electronic concert, I would recommend probably ear protection for littler people, like younger people. But, you know, if you're a bit older and everything, just be prepared to have no hearing afterwards. So eventually we left, we went home, and it was a good night. So I'm actually going to see him again sometime this year, or next year, I should say. So hopefully some crazy stuff happens then. But that was my interesting story about the first time I ever went to an electronic concert. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more stories on these AGC talks, just kind of let me know. I don't really have too many stories, but this was one that I thought was pretty funny. Like I said, though, to get the full experience, you would have had to have been there. But I explained it early as best as I could. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have some other topics that I may be doing, maybe not. I'm not too sure yet. But until next time, I guess I'll be thinking of other ideas to do. So I will talk to you guys later.